A long time ago in the future, there was an area of land called Aktion. We might call it a country. Aktion was a beautiful land surrounded by a beautiful ocean, not that the people of Aktion ever took the time to notice their surroundings. They were all too busy doing and being busy under a cloud of gray. Now, in this fair land lived a youth. We'd say he was in his early 20s. He had no name, but he was mockingly known as the Dandelion by the people of Aktion, for he, unlike others, was not busy doing. He was, in their opinion, a waste of space, wasting time, and using up air talking about his dreams and ideas and what he was going to do one day. It was a custom in the land of Aktion that if one was to meet another one, the ones must spend at least 10 of what we'd call minutes telling the other one what one had been doing. This was an order from the Aktion Council, and its purpose was to motivate the people into doing. Don't let me get bored now. It was a fine morning that Roland and Matilda, a married pair, set out on their way. To get where they were doing, they had to take the coastal path, and it was upon the cliffs they saw the one called the Dandelion approaching. Roland and Matilda both uttered word clouds of jump disappointment at the sight of Dandelion approaching, as they knew they'd have to talk to him for 10 minutes, as was directed by the council. "Good day to you both," enthused the Dandelion. "To where are you doing?" Roland and Matilda both began talking in a robotic, annoyed manner. "We are doing what we do, as we all do. We are taking daily action, as action gives value to who we are, and we collect the tokens to show we have been doing well." "Fabulous," replied the Dandelion. "Just fucking fabulous." And it was a custom. It was now the turn of Roland and Matilda to ask in return. "To where are you doing?" they asked in a gray, dulled, judging Jude G. bitch manner. "Today is every day. I have been feeling who I am and what I am to be. Today I've been feeling the moment what I'll be in the next when I'm all grown the fuck up." Roland and Matilda rolled their eyes to each other, "Oh my God," and thought out loud in a critical way, and in doing so they sighed some greatness into the air. "Emotions, bitches. I will grow to be gardener and spend my time sculpting the space I reside in, talking to the flowers and shrubs and trees and arranging them into a dream. And then when I have had that moment, I will grow into a painter." Skywriter, homeboy. Brother man, not homeboy. Sean. "And fill many a blank page with all the images I see and imagine, and I shall breathe in every color, and from my heart make 1,000,000 paintings." The married pair scratched their hands in a bored way and twitched and sighed some more gray into the air. "And then I will have another moment, and I shall sail the ocean to different lands, and I shall be at the mercy of the elements, and be free with the midnight blue and the depth of the sky and sea, and fill my pockets with memories. And I'll take a hot air balloon and take other people to visit the lands I've experienced." Roland and Matilda, judges, jurors, pulleys, riggers of life. Roland and Matilda again thought some negative thoughts and judgments and looked at their watches. "And then finally I will in my next moment walk to the horizon, and then to the next one, and to the next one, and the next one, and to the next one, and collect recipes from all the places I visit, and prepare to be a great chef and will create great banquets for all. Roland and Matilda could tolerate no more, and the two of them began to rant together and butt out of tune. You are doing nothing. You are never any good to anyone. You will never do what you say, and you never have anything, and you'll never blah, blah, fucking blah, blah. See, that's how they push you from behind. The knees, you see. With that, the gray of their words darkened the sky. Thank you for talking to me, and I wish you well. Have a good doing. I must walk to my next moment now, as the sky, which was sunny, has turned gray, and I may not be able to see my way unless I can. And with that, the dandelion set off his way without offense or care, without offense or care, without offense or care. The next morning, the two fuckfaces read the paper which told all of what doings had happened. They came across an article which explained that a man had gone missing on the coastal path the previous day. And they read it and became evident that it was Dandelion who had lost his way in the gray air and slipped and fallen to his goodbye. As was accustomed to Action, the last people to see someone who had said goodbye had to go to where the person had lived with the inspector of goodbyes to make an account of the life for the one who had stopped to learn from that interaction. And so it was with Roland and Matilda that they arrived at a small wooden abode with the inspector. This is a place we had expected someone like him wouldn't live, said Matilda. Useless, said Roland. The inspector, who was different to the people of Action, smiled and opened the door to the hut. After an hour of listening to the Dandelion's items and criticizing him, the pair looked to the inspector and moaned, "He has nothing of any use, and we must be on our way to what we are doing. If only he did instead of dreamed, he'd still be here." The inspector smiled and replied that they were nearly done, but they had failed to notice the tin box in the corner of the room, and as was custom, as they were the last people to see the one who had said goodbye, they must check all items. With a sigh, Roland bent down and opened the tin box. Inside the box was a bundle of negatives with which one prints photographs. The inspector took hold of the negatives and held them to the light of the window. The light revealed images of the Dandelion gardening in a wonderful garden, image of him sailing foreign lands, images of him in a hot air balloon taking people on tour, images of him walking through the beautiful Action landscape, and images of him creating fabulous banquets. Indeed, there was an image for everything the Dandelion had said he would do yesterday to Roland and Matilda. How? How is this possible?" the pair asked. "He cannot of good bite if these negatives are positive." "He must be here," the inspector smiled and replied. "Here he is, and he is here. And he has goodbyed." "He has said goodbye to you and to those who do not see him. These negatives are the future moments he was feeling and putting into motion, and now he is here being what you felt, you see, but in a different level." Roland and Matilda were puzzled, scared and confused, and protested loudly. "There can only be 3 steps of the ladder of life: what was, what is, and what rewards you get for doing. How can he be here if he didn't do as well as we all do?" The inspector smiled and replied in a whisper, "There are many steps to the ladder of life, my little friends. Follow me." The trio walked out of the hut and climbed a little hill to where a silver ladder stood. "The ladder has many steps, as the eye could see." "Step up," suggested the inspector. And in a state of overwhelming intrigue and puzzlement, Roland and Matilda started to climb the silver ladder up step 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As they climbed up and up, they paused and looked out upon the land of Action and saw past the gray clouds under which everybody was busy doing. They looked out and saw the beautiful ocean beyond that far and distant lands and far past the horizon into the universe. they caught sight of a hot air balloon, and at the helm was the dandelion, who paved and painted a thank you into the sky. "You see, my friends," said the inspector, "we are all dandelions, here for a moment, and then we turn into little seeds of ourselves, ready to blown to the wind to find a new place to be and replenish. A dandelion doesn't do it is merely being happy in what it is and what it knows it will become in the next." A moment later, Roland and Matilda were in bed in a deep sleep. They awoke the following morning with a fresh feeling. Matilda looked at Roland on the way to where they were doing and asked Roland, "What are we doing?" Roland smiled and replied, "Today we are being." And with that he plucked a dandelion clock from the grass and blew it into the breeze with a happier heart, safe in the new knowledge that they were possibly more than what they had been doing. And the dandelion seed landed on a lawn and settled into the grass, ready to become itself in the next moment. The end of the start.